If you like photography and you're thinking about buying a compact camera that you can take everywhere and that takes much better quality photos than your smartphone, you've come to the right place. In today's video, we're going to take a look at the list of the 4 best compact cameras you can find right now in different price ranges. As always, I have links to all of them in the description in case you want to check their prices or buy them directly. So let's get started with this list. Number 4. Ricoh GR3. The first camera we're going to look at is made by Ricoh, a Japanese brand, and at the time of making this video, it can be found for around $1,000. The GR3 is a very small camera that fits perfectly in your pocket, making it very discreet and perfect for street photography. It weighs only 250 grams and it's available in several colors and different editions. However, it's not sealed, so you have to be careful not to get it wet or let dust enter. It is a 3-inch LCD touchscreen with a resolution of approximately 1 million pixels. It looks decent, though not extraordinary, and it cannot be articulated. The GR3 features a 24.24 megapixel APS-C sensor and uses a fixed lens that cannot be swapped out. The normal version of the lens has an 18.3mm focal length, equivalent to about 28mm on a full-frame sensor. However, the camera is also available in a GR3X version with a 26.1mm focal length, equivalent to approximately 40mm on a full-frame sensor. You can choose either version based on your focal length preference, as they are otherwise identical. Recently, Ricoh also released an HDF version of both cameras, which includes a physical filter that diffuses highlights and gives a softer look to images. This filter can be activated and deactivated, allowing you to choose when to use it. The GR3's lens has an aperture range of f2.8 to f16, and the camera has a mechanical shutter speed range from 1/4000 to 30 seconds. It also features sensor-based optical stabilization and autofocus with face detection and tracking. The camera does not have a built-in flash, but you can connect one via the hot shoe. It does include an ND filter, which can be activated in bright conditions. For photography, it allows shooting in JPEG or RAW, and can take up to 4 photos per second in burst mode, with a buffer that holds up to 12 shots. While video is not its strong suit, it can record at up to full HD resolution and 60 FPS. The Ricoh GR3 has 2 GB of internal storage and supports SD cards. It also has Bluetooth for wireless connectivity and a USB Type-C port for data transfer and charging its battery. The battery life isn't the best, with a maximum of around 200 shots, but it is replaceable, so you can easily swap it out if it runs out. In conclusion, the Ricoh GR3 is a small, easy-to-use compact camera that has excellent image quality. In my opinion, it is the perfect option for an everyday camera or if you do street photography. Number 3. Sony RX100 VII. Next, we have one of the latest releases from Sony in the compact camera category, which at the time of making this video can be found for about $1,150. The RX100 has a body quite similar to the Ricoh we saw earlier, as it is also quite small and lightweight, weighing around 300 grams, though it is not water or dust resistant either. This camera features a 3-inch LCD touchscreen with a resolution of nearly 1 million dots, which can also tilt up and down to change the viewing angle. The camera also has an electronic viewfinder with a resolution of over 2 million dots, which is usually hidden but can be popped out for use when needed. The RX100 has a 1-inch sensor with about 20.1 megapixels. This smaller sensor means it performs slightly worse in low light situations. On the positive side, this camera features an 8 times optical zoom lens. The lens has a maximum aperture between f2.8 and f4.5 and a minimum aperture of f11, with an equivalent focal length range of 24 to 200 millimeters on a full-frame sensor, providing great versatility for photography. Additionally, the camera also has digital zoom, allowing for even closer shots. The mechanical shutter speed of the RX100 ranges from 30 seconds to 1/2000 seconds, but it also has an electronic shutter that reaches a maximum speed of 1/32,000 seconds. The camera includes several autofocus modes, with face detection and tracking and 4-stop optical stabilization, along with a variety of capture modes and intelligent functions. It also features a built-in flash, enhancing its versatility. For photography, it allows capturing images in JPEG of different qualities, or in RAW, and can shoot up to 90 images per second in burst mode with the electronic shutter, or up to 10 per second with the mechanical shutter. Thanks to its powerful processor, its buffer can handle up to 170 images in JPG format. Additionally, it can record video at a maximum resolution of 4K at up to 30 FPS or in full HD at up to 120 FPS. The camera does not have internal storage, but supports SD cards and includes a micro USB port, a micro HDMI port, and a microphone connector, as well as NFC, Wi-Fi, and Bluetooth for wireless connectivity. Its battery allows for about 260 photos before running out, which is decent, and it can also be easily replaced if it gets depleted. In conclusion, the Sony RX100 is a compact camera that stands out for its versatility. With its zoom and numerous functions, it offers many options for photography. If you want a small camera for travel or to carry around all the time, this is an excellent choice. Number 2. Fuji X100 We arrive at the second place on the list with the latest compact camera release from Fujifilm, which comes to replace the X105, a camera that became very popular and was almost impossible to find because it was sold out everywhere. At the time of making this video, the X106 can be found for about $1,800. This camera has a different shape from the other two we've seen because it is larger and heavier, weighing a little over half a kilo. It's clear that it's not designed to be carried in a pocket, but it is still not too large and doesn't take up much space. It's available in black or black and silver and has a certain degree of resistance to dust and moisture, allowing us to use it in more challenging conditions. One of the most attractive aspects of this camera is that it has several physical dials, allowing us to use it as if it were an analog camera. The X106 has a 3-inch LCD touchscreen with a resolution of 1.62 million pixels, which can also tilt in 2 directions. Additionally, it includes a hybrid viewfinder that can be optical, electronic, or a combination of both. The electronic viewfinder is 0.5 inches and is an OLED screen with a resolution of about 3.69 million pixels. This camera has a 40.2 megapixel APS-C sensor and uses a fixed lens without zoom, with a focal length of 23mm, which is equivalent to 35mm in full frame. This focal length is generally considered the most versatile because it allows for different types of photography, not being too wide nor too narrow. The lens has an aperture range from f2 to f16, which works quite well in low light situations. It also incorporates a 4-stop ND filter that can be activated or deactivated. The X106 has a mechanical shutter speed range from 30 to 1/4000 seconds, reaching up to 1/180,000 seconds if we use the electronic shutter. It also includes various autofocus modes, 5-axis IBIS stabilization with 6 stops, built-in flash, and many shooting modes and extra functions, including Fuji's filters that allow us to give a distinctive look to the images directly in the camera. For photography, the camera can capture images in RAW or JPEG format with different qualities and allows shooting up to 11 FPS with the mechanical shutter and up to 20 FPS with the electronic one, with a buffer that holds up to 117 JPEG images. Additionally, it can record video at resolutions up to 6.2K at 30 FPS, 4K at 60 FPS, or Full HD at 240 FPS. The X106 does not have internal storage, but supports SD cards and also includes a hot shoe for connecting a flash, a microphone connector, a micro HDMI port, and a USB Type-C port for data transfer and charging the battery. This battery has a pretty good duration, allowing us to capture more than 350 images and can be easily swapped if needed. In conclusion, the Fujifilm X106 is an extremely capable and complete camera that is ideal for street photography, travel, or daily use. It stands out especially for its excellent colors, image quality, and user experience, which is simply outstanding. Number 1. Leica Q3. Arriving on the first place on this list with one of Leica's latest models, which can be considered the queen of compact cameras. If you're a bit sensitive, cover your ears, because the price of the Leica Q3 at the time of making this video is a whopping $6,000. This camera is the largest and heaviest we've seen so far, weighing about 740 grams, but it is still quite compact and easy to carry everywhere. Currently, it is only available in black and has an IP52 rating, meaning it is dust resistant and has some water resistance. It's important to highlight the incredible build quality of this camera, which despite having digital controls, also allows us to manually change the aperture, focus, and shutter speed. The Q3 has a 3-inch LCD touchscreen with a very good resolution of 1.84 million pixels, which can also tilt in 2 directions. The camera also has an electronic viewfinder with a resolution of 5.76 million pixels and a refresh rate of 120 Hz, allowing us to see what we want to capture with great precision. The Leica Q3 is the first camera on the list to incorporate a full-frame sensor of 60 megapixels. Being full-frame, this sensor can capture much more light, making it perform better in low-light situations. The camera also features a fixed lens with a focal length of 28mm, which is ideal for street photography. Although it also has digital zoom that allows us to crop to 35, 50, or 75mm. This lens has a maximum aperture of f1.7, going up to f16. The maximum mechanical shutter speed of the camera is 1/2000 seconds, extending to 120 seconds, but it also has an electronic shutter with a maximum speed of 1/16,000 seconds. The Q3 also has optical stabilization, autofocus in various modes, and face detection. For photos, the Leica Q3 can capture images in JPEG or RAW format and can shoot up to 15 frames per second with the electronic shutter, or up to 9 with the mechanical shutter, with a buffer that holds more than 60 captures even in RAW format. This is impressive considering they are 60 megapixel photos and quite large. For video, the camera can record up to 8K at 24 FPS with 10-bit color, and 4K up to 60 FPS, or in Full HD up to 120 FPS, and even in ProRes format. The camera does not have internal storage, but it supports SD cards and also has a hot shoe for accessories, a micro HDMI port, and a USB Type-C port, which is used for both data transfer and charging. Additionally, it can be connected wirelessly via Wi-Fi or Bluetooth. Its battery lasts up to 350 images and can be easily swapped. In conclusion, the Leica Q3 stands out for its excellent build quality and unrivaled image quality. It is possibly the best compact camera we can buy today, and if you can afford it, it is sure not to disappoint. If you liked it, you can find it in the link in the description, where all the other cameras I've mentioned are also listed. And if you want to see another list I made about the best hybrid cameras, click on the video on the left. Goodbye, and I'll see you in the next video.